What's up, guys? We got a busy day in front of us. We got a couple clients to go see, and we're gonna go out to the field and watch a championship for the roofing industry, which is gonna be a little bit unique and crazy, but we're running way behind. We gotta go, so I'm gonna take the fast way out of here. See ya.
I saw that going differently.
Let's go!
Entrepreneurs are the place to be. You gotta push. Yo, keep up the faith, but move hastily. Push. Live out your passions and take your dreams and push. Overcome struggles and celebrate victories, man. Right. Push.
I know you guys have a lot of stuff going, you know, because what's going to help is if we can look and you can go, yeah, those ones that are coming from this thing that, you know, this display ads or whatever, like those are good. And not only that, like we convert our into jobs at a higher percentage with those, because then we can go, well, let's shift more budget into that, you know, because sometimes even though this came from Google, that came from Google, this one that comes from Google, you'll find on your end, part we don't see is that, boy, we really close those leads and turn those leads into jobs at a much higher percentage than just, and sometimes it's just because we hit the buyer so right, like he said, those ones are the ones where we're following people around, that we're checking out other roofing companies, and then we're jamming ourselves right in front of them because they went to this roofing company site, this roofing company, they're obviously out there looking around, so we're just putting ourselves right in front of them, so the goal with that is, you know, hot customers is what we're after with those. And we feel like I mean, we're showing a little bit of back door of what works a lot for our customers. So, but we want to make sure that's working right for you guys. And then it's just about turning up the volume. And we've been doing that, and then we'll remanipulate the page based on if there's something up at the top of the page that's taking up valuable real estate and nobody's migrating to that at all. We'll put something, you know, better there to see if it calls them out better, you know. And that's why we like it, because then we don't want to waste high-end real estate at the top. Or they notify them when the city does an inspection. As long as there's an action from within Job Nimbus, we can have then it would be a separate text, like right from the system. So your production manager just clicks material delivery date, this date, fires off the text, tells the homeowner your materials are delivered at this time, or whatever that trigger needs to be. It would then send them that message. So like whatever needs, it can help your production department dramatically.
That sounds really great.
Yeah, it's super sweet, and you don't have it's gonna then you'll know it got done. You know what I mean? Every time. So it's something we can go and talk about your team about, or we can come in one day and talk to them about it. It all goes back to what your internal workflow is. If that's dialed in, then we can kind of intercept into your internal workflow to when you trigger things. If you're doing the triggers already, we're just tapping into them and taking it further. You know, versus every time somebody tells you something, then you got to go and do it. The nice part about that review thing is you can use all sorts of tools to get people to review you, but almost every one of them does it via email. So the conversion to getting them to actually give you the review when you ask them to go through email is like 70% lower than when you do it through text. Because you look at every text message you get, no matter what, and if it's simply, as soon as you open it, it pops up, you're already in there, in Google. I mean, it's like review. I mean, you're already in the review. You tap 5-star, type it out, done. So I can't get into it all because there's a lot of stuff that's just private for the company that we're just meeting with. But this company is a company that has a lot of internal people within their organization that can do some of the things that our company can do as marketing
goes. And so what's nice is that they're able to completely speak our language. They bring us in because we're very specific to their niche, and so they called us in because they need to generate more appointments for their people, and they want to make sure that the best foot is being put forward. So, when this happens where you're dealing with a company that completely understands what your company does internally, so it's not as if you're speaking over their head at all when you're talking about it. I mean, they can dive right into the analytics. They completely understand it. The truth is, they're going to know if you know what you're doing or not. So, and that can be good or bad for some people. We like that. We encourage that. It's good. But when you have this situation, I think it's important that you put your best foot forward. And so we brought our senior SEO strategist in with us in this meeting. And it's not a typical thing to go out of the office with one of our people like this, but in this situation is important because this company's looking to do a much bigger spend than they have been doing. And so that some serious questions are going to come up, some strategy and stuff. So putting your best foot forward by bringing in some of your key personnel to better step them through what you're doing is important, because even though I strategize and am very involved in everything we do, part of growing and getting better is bringing in people who are even better at some particular things than you are, and not feeling bad about having to bring them in at times in front of your clients and that's okay, and so that's what this was. I don't know how much we can talk about or show what we had going on, but I think it was important that when you see those wheels turn on the company that you're meeting with, and they recognize, man, you've really got this figured out, and they feel so much better about it, because you can see that situation could easily go different if you get in front of somebody who knows what you do and understands it, and they're not overly impressed from an inside standpoint. It can be a little nerve-wracking. So what I like to try to do is turn that into an opportunity. I look at that as now as an opportunity, because you're asking for us to show you and remind you exactly why it is that you brought us in to begin with. When you knew you could do this, you understand this on your own, but you stepped out and got us to take things to another level. So it creates that opportunity. Don't be afraid of that opportunity when it comes up, and hopefully you get an opportunity to shine in that situation. Hey, what's up? We're at the 2018 Roofing Insights Fittest Roofer Championship. It's roofers brought in from all over the country. Have been submitting videos all year. Now they're finally here. They flew them into Minneapolis to compete, all of them against each other. Should be pretty interesting. These crazy guys have been, practicing their workouts. Instead of using regular weights, they're using bundles of shingles. So these guys are a bunch of nuts that have flown in here. We got invited in to check it out, but I'm going to sneak a little drone action in, maybe fly that across, see what we can come up with, and have a little fun with it.
big deal? Whatever. Get out of here. What's the big deal? Hey, you only got 95! 96!
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching this episode of the Daily Push. If you like this episode, catch up some more episodes over here. I'm going to go and put some ice in my back because I think I just tore it in half. We'll see you soon.